Hello and welcome to Awkward Author. My name's Alyssa Grasso, and this is my weekly vlog and podcast about my sometimes awkward author life. Coming to you on a very wet and soggy election day here in Pennsylvania. I've already gone out and voted and run some errands, and now it's time to catch you up on what I've been doing this week, and it's been kind of a busy week for me. Yesterday, I recorded my first podcast interview. I've done a radio interview before, like a local radio station, but this was my first podcast interview, and it was kind of exciting because it was an international interview. I was interviewed by Paul Teague, who, if you don't know who he is, you should definitely check out his website. He has a couple different podcasts that he does, but he does a weekly diary report, kind of similar to what I'm doing in these videos, but he has a lot more interesting stuff to say because he's been at this a little bit longer than I have as far as self-publishing goes, and always interesting. I always learn something listening to Paul Teague's podcast. And then he also does the Self-Publishing Journeys interviews where he interviews different authors. So that's what I was doing yesterday. Now, we did the interview yesterday. This will actually be aired in December, so about a month from now, and I'll give you a heads up when that will be on. So that was a lot of fun. It was pretty cool talking to Paul, and he's over in England. I'm, here in Pennsylvania in the U.S., so it was an international interview through the miracles of modern technology and a little program called Skype. So pretty cool. Had a lot of fun. It was great talking to Paul. So definitely check out his channel. I'll put some links in the description below, and also I'll let you know when that podcast airs so that you can listen to our interview. It is November now. I do have an author income report to share with you. Don't get too excited because it's an author lack of income report this month. I'll tell you more about that later on, and just catch you up with what else I've been doing. I have been writing. I'm making progress little by little, so I'm up to maybe around 20,000 words on the manuscript I'm working on next. And like I said, that is going to be the first part of a 3-book series. So I'm working on that, and I'm also trying to think about what I want to do, because it's going to be a while before I release that series, because I haven't even written the first book, and I really want to have all 3 books done before I release the first one. So I'm probably going to do another standalone thriller, which means I have to write another standalone thriller, and I have a project I've been kicking around and starting to work on. I can't even tell you where I am on word count because I've only really been just dictating some things right now and, sketching out the outline, but I feel pretty confident that I can make some progress pretty quickly on that, and so I'll probably try working on both projects, kind of go back and forth between them. I don't know how well that will work, but that's what I'm going to try to do. And the other thing I've finally been working on is getting Ferocity Summer and Shallow Pond, which were in, which we call Kindle Unlimited. I have been working on getting them wide. Now, they actually went out of Kindle Unlimited in September, I think. I think it was actually back in September, and I'm only just now getting to that. I pretty much have them up everywhere with, I think, a couple exceptions, and there's just been like little hiccups along the way, which I guess there always are. The problem is because these were books that were previously published. These were originally published by Flux. They were my second and third books that I published, so they were traditionally published. I got the rights back and self-published them. They've been on Amazon with no problem for, I don't know, at least 6 months, more than that, I think. And when I went to go publish, I don't even think it was both of them. I think maybe it was just Shallow Pond. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, when I went to go put them on Google Play, I got a notice that I didn't have the rights to publish it, so I'll have to, get in touch with them. And I think this happened once before when I was first uploading them to Kindle. I had to, give my my letter from the publisher, explaining the rights reversion. So I'll just have to do that with Google. I just have not actually gotten around to do that. Maybe tomorrow. If I have some time, that will be on my agenda. We'll see. I also redid the cover to Shallow Pond. I was never really happy with the cover that I made for that book, and I figured, well, this was a good time to do it while I was putting those books out wide, and really made a cover that looked very similar I mean, it's different colors and all, but same style as Ferocity Summer. So did one that looked like that. So that was like bright blue and orange, and this one is bright yellow and blue. And I don't know. I hope it's eye-catching. I don't know if it conveys the genre. I mean, it definitely looks YA. That book is an interesting book because it kind of has a little bit of science fiction in it, but it isn't really like a true science fiction. So it's very subtle. So I don't know. I don't know if the cover really fits it. I really don't know what cover will fit it. That's the problem with that book. And that is the problem too, that when you write something that doesn't quite fit neatly into a genre, it's tough. It's tough to find readers. It's tough to market. It's tough to design a cover. And that's something I've learned along the way. You're just definitely better off not trying to be too original, especially if you're going to self-publish, because otherwise no one's going to find your book. That's my answer there. And any other news to report? I did get a royalty check yesterday. Now all three of my books are out of print, and only one of my books, Popular, ever earned out its advance. It went out of print. I got the ebook rights more than a year ago now, or about a year. No, more than a year ago now. And, so there's still money trickling in here and there from a few sales. So I actually got a royalty check for, you ready? $1.04. So I'll try not to spend that all in the same place. Speaking about money, I guess now it's time to get down to the author income report. And so I will share with you how much money I didn't make in October. So as you know, in October I had new release. Well, technically two new releases, because I released Girl Most Likely to Succeed, which is my first adult novel, and I also released the novella In the Bag, which I wasn't really trying to sell that book. I'm more trying to use that to promote sales of Girl Most Likely to Succeed. And I did sell a lot of copies. I mean, for me, what's a lot of copies of Girl Most Likely to Succeed? But I also spent a lot of money on advertising as I'm trying to, figure this out and figure out what works. So I have not yet succeeded in advertising in such a way that I'm getting a positive return on investment. Now, the other thing is that when I released Girl Most Likely to Succeed, I tried doing it at $1.99 for the first 2 weeks of its launch to kind of drum up some sales, and I do think that helped to kickstart sales on it. I don't know if it helped enough to justify the much lower take in terms of royalties you get when a book is priced at $1.99. So that is something I'm going to look at more and think about for the next book that I release. But I'm rambling, so let me get to my actual income report, and I'll pull the slide up here so that you guys can see the fancy visual. So first of all, actual book income as far from sales this month. Okay, so this month I actually sold books on more than one platform, which the past several it's always been Amazon. So Amazon was still the bulk of the sales this month, but I did sell on other platforms as well. So this month on Amazon, total income from book sales was $266.03. And the majority of that was ebook sales, $207.73, with the balance being paperbacks, $58.30. Next, Barnes & Noble. I was surprised how well I did with Barnes & Noble sales. I don't think I had sold a single book. Oh no, I had sold a few books from Barnes & Noble because they did include me in that promo over the summer. But this is the most I've ever sold on Barnes & Noble, that's for sure. And I can attribute this all pretty much to BookBub ads, I think. Anyway, that was $48.38 that I brought in from ebook sales, all ebook sales on Barnes & Noble. Next up, and this is interesting, is Apple at $27.82. And the reason I say that this is interesting is because if you watched last week's video, you know that when I released my book, I thought I had it priced at $1.99 on all the platforms, and I didn't. I actually had it priced at $3.99 on Apple, and I was sending traffic there with ads that were saying the book was $1.99. And I was surprised, when I was looking at my sales numbers, not realizing that I didn't have the price correct, that I hadn't sold more books on Apple. Like, I was getting a lot of traffic to Apple. I wasn't selling as many books, and I figured it's a pretty popular platform. Well, I realized why, because, I didn't have the correct price on there. But people still bought it, and I still sold copies. Far less copies than I sold on Barnes & Noble, and far less copies than I sold on Kobo. But I actually made more money on the Apple sales because I had it priced higher. So that is something to think about going forward. So $27.82 from Apple. From Kobo this month, and I think this is the first time I've sold any books on Apple, on Kobo, or Google. So on Kobo this month, it was $26.97. And then on Google, it was $22.37. Ingram Spark I used to publish the hardcover edition of the book, and I know exactly who bought the two hardcover books that I sold. I made $6.34 in royalties from Ingram Spark, and that was, my parents bought a copy and my boyfriend bought a copy. So my total income from book sales for the month of October was $397.91. So since I've started self-publishing, that is, the biggest figure I've seen, which is awesome. Alas, that is not my profit for the month because I ended up spending a lot of money on advertising. So I'm going to bring up another screen and show you what I actually spent on advertising this month. And keep in mind that I was doing a lot of testing of ads. And I was doing a lot of testing, as you can see, on BookBub. So I spent the most money in advertising on BookBub, $850.85. That's a lot of money. It really is. I have a huge spreadsheet that I've created and have been analyzing that data and trying to, pare things down and figure out something that's working. And I'm still running some BookBub ads, and I'm actually, because I'm using the information that I had from the other ads and kind of trying to hone things down, I am seeing like an increase in like my click-through rate, I guess I would say, just by, kind of honing things down and, figuring out what works and then, taking that a next step further, I guess I'll say. So $850.85 on BookBub. Then AMS ads, I spent $78.08. AMS, if you can believe the Amazon, interface, which I have some, I have some doubts, but it does tell you, what sales you've generated. Because the book was priced at $1.99, I actually, was negative on the ROI on that, but the encouraging thing to me is that if I had had it priced at $3.99, I would have been making money. Like, it would have been a positive ROI for me. So, that tells me something right there. Obviously, might not have quite as many sales if it's priced at $3.99 as opposed to $1.99, but I think, I could see how going forward, AMS ads could definitely be a profitable venture for me. One of the things yesterday when I was talking to Paul Teague is he suggested doing AMS ads in the UK, sent me a link for that, so I might try doing that as well. And finally, Facebook. I've really only started in the past maybe, the last week or 2 weeks of October running a Facebook ad that was promoting Girl Most Likely to Succeed. I spent a total of $39.85 on it. It's a little bit tricky to see if it's a profitable ad. I don't think it was profitable for those 2 weeks of October as I was figuring out what was working and still kind of honing it down because Facebook's a little bit different than a BookBub ad and figuring out what works and the targets and all that. But I am still working on some Facebook ads, still running some, and I think getting a little bit better. I don't know that I'm still, that I'm into the black yet on Facebook ads, but I think I can get there. That's the encouraging thing. So total money spent on advertising in October was a whopping $968.78, which I know it's a lot of money. I think it's a lot of money. But, I wanted to see what I could do, see what ads would work and, what's going to generate sales. And I think I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do going forward. Anyway, taking away the, what I actually earned on books, that leaves me with a profit, a negative profit of negative $570.87 for the month of October, which is like, whoa, that's not very good. But on the other hand, I feel like I've learned a lot from what I did this month, and I think it's going to help me a lot going forward. So I feel, even though I'm losing money on the book, I feel like I have learned a lot. So, I've paid to, it's like paying to take a course, or, paying to, read books or something like that to learn things. So I don't think it's money wasted is what I'm trying to say. And of course I've sold some books, and hopefully that will lead to more sales down the road. So that's my income report for the month of October. Let's see if November I can actually make money instead of losing money. That would be really nice. I don't know if that's going to happen, because I am still throwing quite a bit of money at ads. Not quite as much as I was doing in October, but we'll see. We'll see if we can turn this around and make this profitable. And I'm heading off this weekend for the first of 2 library author expos here. By the way, if you're in Bucks County, anywhere near Doylestown, stop in and see me on Saturday, November 10th. From 1 to 3 p.m. I'll be at the Author Expo at the library, and the following week I'll be in Quakertown, same time, 1 to 3 p.m. at the Quakertown Public Library. So anyway, maybe I'll make some money there and sell some books. We'll see. Definitely, it's been a while since I've done an in-person author event, so I'm looking forward to it, looking forward to meeting some other authors as well as some readers. But yeah, maybe that'll help with my November author income. We'll see. Anyway, that's what I've got for you this week. I hope you have a great week. If you are doing NaNoWriMo, I hope you are getting your word count in. And if you're not, just hope you're enjoying the writing life or the reading life or whatever it is that you do. Again, my name is Alyssa Grasso. I make these videos every week. If you want to learn more about me, please check out my website, alyssagrosso.com, ALISSAGROSSO.com. If you go there, you can snag a free copy of my novella In the Bag. And I'll see you all, talk to you all again next week. Keep it awkward, guys.